Welcome to my channel. My name's Piper. If you're new here, today we're going to be talking about every book I've rated 5 stars in the last 3.5 years that I've been reading, and if I would still rate them 5 stars today. I think this is a very interesting video because looking at the list of everything that I rated 5 stars, I do not agree with my ratings at all. I think part of the issue is when I first started reading, I was on Goodreads, and on Goodreads you can only give whole number stars. I switched to Fable, and on Fable you can do 0.5, 0.25, 0.75, and I feel like that helped with my ratings. Also, when I first started reading books, I was very nervous to give books less than 3 stars. I was just so nervous to do it, so I feel like there was a lot of books that got 5 stars. Hi buddy, what are you doing? I feel like there was a lot of books I gave 5-star ratings to that didn't even deserve it in the first place, but I didn't want to give it a 4-star because that felt too low. I'm excited to talk about why and why not I would still rate books the same. I really didn't start reading till after COVID. I feel like at the start my book reading was very determined by TikTok. All of these books actually I feel like were very determined by TikTok. I made a very tall, precarious book stack, so I'm hoping it doesn't fall during the video. I'm going to be very careful taking books off of it. That being Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I gave both of these books 5 stars. To this day, I would still give both of these books 5 stars. I remember having my jaw on the floor. This is the best heist, found family, little sprinkle of romance here and there, just chef's kiss book I have ever read. These are high on my reread list. I normally don't reread books. There is one book that I have ever reread, and it's actually in the 5-star list. I feel like these ones deserve a little bit of a reread, but I would want to reread the new released versions of them. You don't need to read any of the other prior books to reading this duology, and I cannot recommend these enough. They are so good. Six of Crows basically follows a ragtag group of people as they try to complete a heist. It is such good found family. I can only speak so highly of these books. I recommend them. Following Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, I did read ACOTAR. Only 2 of the books got 5 stars at the time. That's A Court of Mist and Fury and A Court of Silver Flames. This is the 2nd book and this is the 5th book. The first one I'll say, A Court of Silver Flames, I would probably not give 5 stars, but I don't remember the whole of the book, which makes me feel like it's not 5-star worthy anymore. The book that I do think deserves 5 stars still, just on a personal level, is A Court of Mist and Fury. This is the only book that has ever kept me up at night. I finished this book before I went to bed, and I remember going to bed, staring at the ceiling, just jaw on the floor. Best plot twist of the century at the time was in this book. It was so exhilarating for me as a new reader. I feel like this is the book that made me fall in love with reading. TikTok influenced my book choices at the beginning very heavily. The next 5-star book is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I'm just gonna say it, it's a no. It's not 5 stars anymore. This book at its core is fun. Is it well-written fantasy? No, but it's fun. I think I gave it 5 stars because I had so much enjoyment reading it, not that the actual plot, characters, or anything about the book was 5-star worthy. These characters feel like they have Instagram. I would probably re-rate this book closer to 3.25, 3.5 stars. The next book is Defy the Night by Bridget Commermer. This one is gonna unfortunately also fall under the no category, and it's just because I don't remember a whole lot of the book. And that's unfortunate because I do remember loving them. The 2 books that I did read, the first one is Defy the Night and the second one is Defend the Dawn. And the third one came out last year, maybe even 2 years ago. I do recommend it. Give it a try. It was interesting enough for me to read the first 2 books. I just think I fell off the bandwagon and now have forgotten the plot. This is the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, and Kingdom of Ash that all received 5 stars at the time of reading. I'm just gonna pick out the one that still does get 5 stars from me. That's Queen of Shadows. Out of the whole series, this still remains to be my favorite book. Because this is book number 5, I am basically gonna say nothing plot-wise. I feel like this is where the story really kicks off too. Not that the first 4 books were bad in any sense, but I think this is where the plot finally comes together and it feels like there's like this forward momentum of what like all the characters need to do. Anyways, there's not much I can say since this is in the thick of the plot, other than this was the book that had my jaw on the floor in the entire series, and I love Manon. The next book is Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I think this was the first pure romance novel that I read, and it's YA romance. I fell in love with these characters. This follows Mallory and Nolan. They are chess players. They are chess masters. Grandmasters? It does feel a little young. The characters I do think are like 18 and 19. Is it 5 stars? No, it would probably be like a 4-star read, but I did read this and then like become obsessed with Ali Hazelwood, and now all of her books are like 5 stars to me unfairly. It's a biased 5-star. I am a auto-buy Ali Hazelwood consumer. It's the last Sarah J. Maas series. I have Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood, Crescent City, House of Flame and Shadow. This is the first book in the series, and this is the third book in the series. Both of them did end up getting 5 stars on initial read. Looking back, I would still give the first book 5 stars, and I would probably give this book like 4 stars, 3.5, 4 stars. First off, these books are bricks. I understand not wanting to pick them up. I feel like it scares a lot of people. It scared me. Was it worth it though? Yes. This is the first book that made me cry. Having stronger like female friendships in my life and then reading this book just made me so sad but also happy at the same time. The ending of this book is so good. I do love Bryce and Hunt together. I love their relationship. I would still give this book 5 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The ending made me cry. It's the only book that has made me cry at the very end. It's more Ali Hazelwood. I read Deep End and then I read Problematic Summer Romance. This is the Owl Crate special edition of Deep End because I just had to have it. So cute. Deep End is my favorite Ali Hazelwood novel. If you have not read Deep End, read it. Read it now. It deserves to be read. I mentioned earlier in the video that I have only ever reread one book, and that book is Deep End. But Scarlett and Lucas are like 2 of my favorite book characters ever. I love them. Following Deep End, I did read Problematic Summer Romance, and this will also continue to get 5 stars from me. This follows 2 characters that you meet in Ali Hazelwood's other book, Not in Love. This follows Maya and, what is the guy's name? Connor. They are attending a wedding of the characters in the first book, Not in Love, and it's about like an age gap romance, and Ali can do no wrong. Both of these books, 5-star reads. Anything Ali writes, 5-star reads. The next 2 books are also a part of a series, and I am actually confused why I rated these ones higher than the first one, because I feel like I liked the first one the most. This might be a case of me actually going back and redoing my ratings. The next 2 books are Wildfire and Daydream by Hannah Grace, the most popular of this series being Icebreaker, which is the first book in the series. I don't know why I rated these 2 higher. Looking back, I actually was like gobsmacked. I was like, I don't remember rating these 2 5 stars and not rating Icebreaker 5 stars. I feel like Icebreaker was my favorite of the series. I liked the 2 main characters the best. These 2 books follow side characters that you do meet in the first book. This one is about 2 of them working at a summer camp together. This is Russ and Aurora. And then this one follows Henry and Holly. And honestly, I don't remember Daydream a lot. I remember it being cutesy, very adorable. The thing I do love about this series, no matter what, is I love an epilogue that involves all the characters. Dude, I'm in the middle of doing something. Oh, don't show the camera your butthole. That's not good. Oh, are you coming to sits? This was last summer in July. I read the most books I'd ever read in my life in 1 month. I think I read 7 or 8 books, which is a lot for me, and all of them were pure romance books. Daydream and Wildfire both ended up in that mix that month, and a couple of other things that I was reading, and I think they all just kind of meshed together to make one story. If I was to go back, and I probably will, honestly, I think I might upgrade Icebreaker to a 5-star and take these down to probably like around 3 stars each. I think Icebreaker gets a lot of bad rep because it was a book that blew up on TikTok, but as a whole, I think the series is really cute, and I do recommend these, but they're no longer 5 stars for me. At this point, I had switched to Fable right after reading Wildfire and Daydream, so my ratings got a little bit more descriptive. Instead of just rating 1 to 5 stars, I was starting to rate books between those as well. So this last book I actually read in October of 2025, and I have not rated a book 5 stars since then. But I think that also shows my growth in rating books and my taste in books. I used to give out 5 stars willy-nilly, and I'm a little bit more strict now about what actually gets the 5-star rating. I read Alchemized by Sin Lin Yu. Would I give it 5 stars? This is the only book on my list that I possibly said maybe, because I did really enjoy it. It's very heavy in some of the themes. I do have an issue with this book where I feel like it was over-descriptive at times, but also not descriptive enough. I think it mainly happened with the magic system. I remember reading the magic system early on in the book and then having to go and Google it pretty extensively to have someone else explain it to me in different words. It feels like a 4.75, and I think that's also to do with the fact that this started out as a fan fiction of a Harry Potter story, and I think the fan fiction probably has a lot more context behind it, and that's because you can look at those characters and say, oh, I know them. Whereas this book, I really did try to remove the source material that it was based on from it, so it was its own novel. And I feel like at some points there was characters that had connections, that had relationships that I just didn't quite believe in because it was missing that background story. Probably gonna be like 4.5 or 4.75, and I think that's what my heart's telling me to do. That is every book I've rated 5 stars starting in 2023 when I started reading all the way up to 2026 to my latest book that I gave 5 stars. I am sad now that the last book I gave 5 stars was October 2025. Out of the 18 books that I rated 5-star in the past, there are 7 books that I would still give 5 stars to this day. I just want to say thank you all so much for yapping with me today. It's been very eye-opening to go back and look at my reading history over the last 3 years. I would love to hear your 5-star reads in the comments. If you did enjoy today's video, I would appreciate if you would consider liking, possibly subscribing to the channel if you want to stick around and see more content from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.